This is a pretty rare one. Rarely have seen this before. It's a casket relic. It's 1 out of 50. It's just one of those cards where like you don't see often. I know if I was to put it for sale, it would sell immediately. And not the fact that it's the oldest card, but it's pretty rare, to 50, anything to 50. And just being a casket relic is so ill. I mean, just the fact that they even made a card like that. But yeah, that's one of my faves. This is not this is like my 10 maybe favorites. It's not in any order, but definitely on the top of my list up there, just for the fact that it's rare and it's the taker and it's casket.
Well, that's an unbelievable card. We had the conversation at wrestling because of the craziness of wrestling. You can have all different types of relics. And what's crazy in the Undertaker's casket? I remember Chuckster said something about that. And I was like, what? You have a relic of the Undertaker's casket? That's ridiculous, bro. I mean, that's just an incredible, incredible card. So 1 to 10, whatever, wherever you put that, that's an amazing card, bro.
Yeah, and shout out to Chuckster because like we said before, when we were just doing our show, not even knowing what we were doing with wrestling cards, these guys gave us so much, so many gems that they pushed us in different directions towards collecting where we didn't even know certain cards existed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Shout out to all the collectors that were in the Waxateria sets because they definitely helped us out with a lot of knowledge and all types of stuff. So that's cool.
What do you got?
I'm gonna go with this. It's in a 87 top stickers. I'm sorry, this is the 85 top stickers. Iron Sheik auto. I just love the Iron Sheik. He was just such an incredible character throughout his career. One of the most entertaining guys in the history of wrestling for me. So this is a card I really love. It's one of my first wrestling autos that I ever got. And I was just like very happy to have that one.
I love those stickers, man. The stickers are like my favorite, one of my favorite things from those sets. I mean, that just the images on there, there's some crazy ones like Albano, I think, eating mad food. And, it's just, I mean, Hogan is on one when he's in front of like a Corvette or something, just ill images that you would never see today. We always talk about that, like not even testing racial lines or testing, it's something that they won't go. We're talking about just the sick ideas that they had back then that they would you could never see them. You would never see Roman Reigns, in front of like even a car on a car. It just wouldn't happen. It's just they don't do that anymore. So you gotta love just the old way style where no rules.
Yeah, the old wrestling. I mean, it's obviously changed in the last 20 years. Who knows what the future direction of modern WWE is and all that. But certainly there were eras that the wrestling was just completely like the storylines, just what these guys are willing to do just to get people to get heated.
You gotta love it.
And yeah, so shout out to Vince McMahon, legend, absolute legend.
Oh, and I did finish watching that McMahon doc. It was unreal. I mean, like,
yeah,
like so we can make a whole episode about that, but I mean, that was unbelievable. I mean, we knew a lot, but we didn't know really anything. Well, especially we were young back then. So to know certain things now, you look back and go, yo, like that was wild that they even, and then even later on, with Triple H and just all the whole storyline, just the people that were even involved, I just didn't even know it was that deep. But that was great. That was really good. But as we go into Iron Sheik, obviously I have one too, and this card is just the levels of this card, to have his order with this, because when you had, Ayatollah Blassie, when Freddie Blassie went into Ayatollah Blassie was really next level character. Writing is crazy, but you gotta love it.
Speaking of legendary characters, man, and this is also just, I know it's not a licensed card or whatever, but like the image is so great. It's Mean Gene. His auto's so nice. I got it for like $60 or something.
Damn. I don't think you ever showed me that one.
Just to have this in a collection, bro. A Mean Gene auto.
Come on, man. What an iconic dude. I mean, just think of WWF without Mean Gene. It's not the same. It's really not. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's dope. Did you get that recently, or was that something you had for a while?
That's actually one of the earliest wrestling autos I ever got.
Wow.
And Yeah, I mean, you nailed it, bro. He added legitimacy to the to wrestling.
Agreed, totally. As we were talking about Freddie Blassie, this is a card I picked up a while back. It's an old school card that came, I believe it came out of a magazine. Actually, PSA doesn't even grade these. But when I spoke to someone, they said, in due time they might. There's somebody else on the back as well. But this is an early Freddie Blassie card, him as a wrestler. He was just Fred Blassie. But, just something like this is pretty cool to have. And as we talked about with wrestling cards, there's so many that, it's such an untouched, there's so many levels of finding first cards. We don't really call them rookie cards, obviously, but first cards of wrestlers. And you just start going down this rabbit hole of cards. And some people don't want to buy cards like this because they're like, all right, well, if PSA doesn't grade them or if, doesn't acknowledge them yet, but I feel like the opposite, where like sometimes you don't need PSA or a grading company to say that like who's to them to say that maybe they don't want to grade them because for a certain reason, but just to know that these cards exist is just cool to have. I that's how I look at it.
Here's an 85 tops, one of my favorites of all time.
Oh man,
the rookie card, and it's a nice 9. Like
that's a great card, bro. Man.
It's just
Fuji, and just that image of Fuji is so. I mean, that's Fuji right there. I mean, and those 85, those just a great look, great profile shots. Just damn, that's a good card, man.
Mr. Fuji, bro, one of the most entertaining people. The skit where it's him, Lloyd Alfred Hayes, and Vince McMahon with the geishas, and they spill tea, and he snaps out.
When you put me onto that a while back, there's times I watch that, and it's one of those things I can't watch it once. Like, we might have to tag that on this. Maybe we could put a little link to it.
Yeah, we'll put that one in
because if you haven't seen that, I mean, you have to watch that. I mean, if you want to watch it when you had a few beers or whatever else, it's even more funnier. But that, I mean, just the levels of Fuji is insane. You know what I mean? Like to take it to that level, and you got to remember, he was a tag team partner of Mr. Saito. Back in the days, and his finishing move was he threw salt in your eyes. So that just shows you what an ill dude Fuji was. Didn't have much game in the ring, you know what I'm saying? But his chops, but the salt, back in the days, you just knew he was reaching the pouch and hit you with the salt. So like Fuji was ill, bro.
Bro, one of the funniest things in history. I think it's on a Saturday Night Main Event where it's Fuji versus Ricky the Dragon in a kung fu match.
Yo,
Jesse the Body's doing the commentary, bro. It'll have you in tears.
I gotta go find that.
Rocco they choke out Ricky the Dragon on the ropes.
All right, let's go. So we'll stay on the manager side. This I picked up a while back, but now you got Macho, you got Hogan, and then you got Mouth of the South with his auto in like a purple.
That is such a great card, bro.
And it's one of those cards too that it's a trading card. So like you're gonna pay, you're not gonna pay top value for a card like this, and I got it for really cheap. But it's just the point of having the auto, with Hogan and Macho on it. It just, to me, it's just such a great card. And shout out to him out to the South, man. Jimmy Hart, he still looks great. You see him out there, he's still doing his thing. And he, a lot of these guys look really tough, and they had a rough life. They have insane injuries, and they didn't make the money, that these guys made. But shout out to Jimmy Hart, man. He kept himself really good, and he looks great for his age, man.
I just picked this up. I really love these Coliseum video cards. I think they did it in '93 and '94, but this is Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter, bro.
Yeah, what is that? I don't even know if I haven't seen that card.
These are nice cards, man. They're hard to find in nines. I mean, they're not, they're not very valuable, but like,
but it's just like even that card. It's not the value, kind of like, it's just the coolness of it. I mean, if you can't feel the coolness of it,
yeah,
that's such a dope. I mean, man, that's dope. You'll enjoy this one. This one is, I got this from Rob England, and you don't see these often. You'll enjoy this one. This one is, I got this from Rob England, and you don't see these often. Scanlons, I mean, Piper's rookie. I mean, to find these even in Nate is, I mean, I think there's one higher than this, maybe, I think, and maybe even Rob has it, but I mean, these came from Australia. They were, so you just don't find these in any good conditions. If you look at the pop report on the Scanlons, they're like, you're not going to find really tens, maybe, but even the 8 in this is just cool. But Roddy Piper, man, what a legend! Changed the game. Wasn't another guy. If it wasn't for Roddy Piper, WWF back then would not be the same.
Yeah, for sure. And here's a 96 Antonio Inoki insert. I think you have the other one of this, bro.
I do, yeah. I don't have that. Yep. There's a few of them. I have that one. On mine, they labeled it wrong. They mislabeled it. Does yours say BBM or Pro Wrestling? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just a really, I mean, that set, that's just a tremendous set.
Great set. And those, I think those are underrated cards too, because like you said, just the look of that from being 96 to look like that. I mean, when I sent it to PSA originally, they labeled it like an insert, like it was called 96 Inoki. When I was like, what do you mean? It's just an insert in the BBM set, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's a great card. Yeah, so luckily I had this. This will always be a great card. I had 2 of these because the RVD rookie.
Oh, see, I didn't know you had 2 of these. That's incredible, bro.
Wow. Yeah, so originally when I bought a box, I pulled what did I do? I think I pulled one of these, and then I got another box, maybe like 6-7 months ago. I got for pretty low, and I pulled another one.
So here's the 1990 purple bordered classic, the promo of Randy.
Damn, bro, that's a beaut. Look, like inserts before insert. Just like the purple border.
Much about these because I was just looking for Savage cards or whatever, and I saw this card, and I was like, wow, that's cool. So I got to dive more into those. That's the cool thing about wrestling cards, like just really not knowing shit about a lot of them, just diving in on the internet's Tony's website and all that. Like, just I go on there for like a few hours and just be like, wow, there's so much cool stuff.
Yeah, this one's another good one. I got this off eBay for like $20, maybe a few years ago. I graded it. I think it's the only 10. It's the X Fractor of Triple H and this is such a great set. The top's chrome.
Sick.
This is another one that there's not much out there, in terms of there's not many 10s in this, but I mean, it's just a great card. This was a great year for these Topps Chrome this year, and they're so hard to find. I mean, you could find them, but just when you buying these cards raw now, I mean, these in changed hands, you can't find boxes of these. See, that's the difference between wrestling. Like if you go back and say, all right, 2005, you type in Topps Chrome baseball, there's going to be at least 15, 20 boxes that you can just, if you wanted to buy a box, you can't find anything on Topps Chrome wrestling.
And they made so much little, compared to baseball. And
that's what I'm saying. So you can't, and if you want even to just get a blaster, they're like $300. So it's like you might as well just go buy a card for $20 and see what the grade is. But yeah, those. I mean, like you said, I don't know how many. Print run. I don't even know how it had to have been very small runs of those.
All right, so here's another one. It's 87 Topps WWF Bret Hart. His card in this set. The other card is considered his rookie. So. Whatever, I don't want to get into that whole rookie card thing, but I love these.
Me too.
I picked these up all from that set. Like all 3 of these cards.
Oh yeah.
Not that much money, bro. You know what I mean? Like
they just look dope together, man. This is one. You got the OPG. Is the 8.
Yo, that's such a beautiful card. It's so nicely, man.
Whoa. It's funny. I had got this. I had got one like on eBay for like $20. It was mad off-centered, and I was like, well, I just wanted the card, and then this came along, and I was like, wow, like you said, it's just the way the card's inset for an 8. It's an 8, but you know what? It's OPG, and it's the centering. Obviously, with OPG is always crazy, but it's just great. It's a great card. It's one of those that you just. Like I don't even want a 9. You know what I mean? It's like the card's so nice. What do I need anything else for that card? Because it's such a perfect card in my book.
Ted DiBiase trading card. I got this for $40 at a show.
Bro, that's great. What an image.
You know, like what a
Well, this is a I wanted this. I mean, it's a small car, but it's just something about it. I wanted this for a long time. Early '80s BBM Hogan. You know, these Japanese. You know, just the cards. Some are small, some are really big. But like, I don't know, just seeing like Hogan before it all started. And these images really dope. It's tough to find these in a good grade. It's a 7, but definitely something I always wanted a Hogan card from Japan, and yeah, this just popped up, and I was like, gotta grab something like that.
Hogan PSA 9, 82 All Stars, 132K. That's crazy, right?
That broke the record. Unbelievable, man.
I think, and then Rob England also said that 9. He said that PSA 9. There's no PSA 9 in the game that can step to that. That's absolutely true. Like, tell me another PSA 9 from the '80s that's going for more than that. The Jordan rookie's not, right? No way.
No.
Like, what other rookies going for that from the '80s?
Not for 9.
So that's just crazy.
That's so amazing though. Like really is. It just sets the because wrestling cards. I mean, not everybody had the hindsight like David Peck to buy those cards. 10, 12 years ago. For a few bucks, whatever. No one knew. So like it's just to see that a card like that go for that much money, man. I mean and there's no tens of that, right? There's no one those.
I don't think there's a 10 of that, but I don't know, man. I feel like there's like a lot of opportunities still in those cards. Like, I want to cop a couple of those Hogans, like the 8s or whatever.
Oh my God. Do we know the print run of that? Did Peck ever say what estimate?
Said it was around 5,000. That's why I kind of compared it to
okay.
Tiffany's. And if wrestling card people are watching this, you don't know what Tiffany is. Topps made 5,000 sets, glossy. I think what year was it, Joe? 85 they started. It's probably 85 to like 90 something.
I believe it was yeah, I don't think it was before 85.
And they made 5,000 sets. They came in boxed sets, and they're not parallels. I don't consider them parallel, but it's considered a parallel to the base set. And they only made 5,000. So like if you have a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie in a 10, 89 top traded Tiffany, that's just like a serious card, So that's 5,000. That's why I'm thinking, like who knows how many. I'd have to look at how many of those cards were actually graded. The 82 All Stars. I would think thousands of those have been graded, but I don't really know, so I'm not going to say anything. The 85 Junkyard Dog sticker and a 9.
Come on, man.
Again,
those stickers are just.
It's hard to find them in a nice grade. They're so off center and stuff. And I still feel like those cards are just, there's not that many of them, man. And the hobby, I feel like that's so good for wrestling cards that a card went for 132 grand. That's ridiculous. That is so good for the wrestling card hobby. Old cards, new cards, whatever it is, just adds more legitimacy to wrestling cards, man. So
agree. And I'm happy that I think the one that he beat was like a rock. I think it was like a 101 or like a prism, and I feel like in wrestling, I don't feel like that card should be the highest card because it's like, I'm not saying it's not a great card. I'm just saying that like, I feel like it needed to be a card from back in the days. Like it needed to be an Andre or a Hogan, not taking anything away from the Rock. I'm just saying that to have a card from 2022 is the highest card of all time wrestling. It's just for me, I'm happy that it's the Hogan card. I'm happy it's that card because that set is just an iconic set. And it deserves to have it deserves that value. It really does, because you're not just to know you're not going to find it. I mean, if someone pops up, listen, cards come up in people's attics all the time, high cob cards of Manals, whatever. So down the road, does somebody maybe from that where those cards were made or somebody in the family have those cards stashed away? Maybe. But to know that a 9 went for that much is pretty dope.
There's this whole like divide, I feel like, and I don't think it's the whole hobby. I think it's just maybe like 100 people on two sides, old school versus new school in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You may see that in baseball, but baseball card collecting is so big that no one even cares. Like people like whatever, you collect Bowman Chrome, do your thing, bro. No one, the vintage people, they're not worried about the other people who are buying all this new stuff. But in wrestling, there seems to be like a divide. And I feel like I would just want a card like that because it's a classic card of a legend from the era. That's my whole thing. So even The Rock hasn't wrestled in a long time. So if there's like a Gold Rock Prism to 10 or whatever, or some 101 that goes for crazy money, that's cool. But another difference to wrestling is that in baseball, like we tried that. That was tried in like the early 2000s and late 90s. Like, Mickey Mantle gold refractor to 50. Nobody cared, bro. You could go on eBay right now and get a Mickey Mantle gold to 50 for like $100. I went to a card show this weekend, and I saw this guy. I forget his name. He's a really cool dude. He sells wrestling cards pretty much only. And check this out. So he sent me like the test print of the Flair.
Oh yeah, that's right. They have like a cardboard back, like, right?
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
the same, but the back is like that.
Yep.
So I thought that was
That's dope.
cool because I'm gonna grade that just for me to have like whatever.
That's great, bro. I love those test runs. I have a baby doll one like that. I had to sign it for me when I saw it.
Oh, that's so dope, dude.
Yeah, because
Dang,
yeah,
well,
she got, because she has some dope cards in that set, man.
yeah,
Yeah, I think she got one with Rhodes, with Dusty Rhodes. This one's a great one too, man. This is in a 9. This is a great set too.
bro. Wow, those are so hard in a 9, dude. That's a
Yeah,
thick card, bro. I love those, man. I've been
me too. I
trying,
don't have many of them because every time I look for them, they're in like low grades. And you know who I got
yep,
this off? I got this off in the
and
trade,
they're
with
low grades
Rob.
and they're a lot of money.
I got this in the trade with Rob. I think I traded some 98 Bandai Hogan's, some set that I opened, and he needed something, and it worked out where I think he had 2 9s. So yeah, I mean, to get this in a 9 isn't. I mean, just to have this in a 9. I mean, this set is an ill set. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a really beautiful set. You know,
I,
it's
that set, man. That set to me, it screams like 80s and wrestling at the same time. It's different from everything else out,
very true. Yep.
and it just looks so 80s. And like those came out of a magazine, right? Uh,
Yep. I
Awesome,
think Rob cut a lot of them. That's why he's like, I think you guys should open a business,
man.
but cutting cards, man.
I don't get 9s and 10s back. He does. I get
He does.
wow. Yeah, no, Rob's the man with the cutting, and he's doing it with like this type of ones that you cut like cats, like little claws with, like that kind of one. He said, remember he did the round.
That's right. He rounded them on those other BBM sticker looking ones. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's a great card, bro. I love that set. It's a tough set. Like there's not many of those around. Um, Speaking of it, I guess this is a tough set, but the New Jack and a 10 from the
Yo, that's crazy, bro. I remember when you got that back. Now
yeah,
you subbed those, right?
I did, man. This is
Yeah.
top 2. I have both of the 10s. And bro, New Jack, if people who are watching this are wrestling card collectors and new wrestler fans or whatever, man, go check out the documentary on New Jack, man.
Now he's another guy that I would, even when I was older, still watching him spook you a little bit just because he was so nuts, and like everything he did never gave you the impression that anything was fake or anything was even like halfway. It's like this guy will slash your face like for real, like, like, man, he was. And you hear stories about him too, and stuff he did to like jobbers and shit like that. Like he really hurt some other he hurt people. Speaking of Sabu, I have to go this route.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna pull that out.
I mean, this is just, this is our inaugural set, just an insane card, 10 auto. This is with CSG. So, now they partner with CGC. So, actually I should probably get this in a nice new reholder.
Yeah, that's one to reholder for sure.
Yeah. Just because the CGCs, man, their slabs are really nice, man. Like they did a great job. They're very clean, definitely cleaner than the
Bro, that
CSG.
is a gorgeous card, and I think I have the 9 auto 10 of that, which is I'm super happy to have. And the card is just incredible, bro. This is one of my favorite cards, bro.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's
All to the damager against,
Kamala.
like just this image, man. This is just a sick card,
What an image.
you
That's
know.
probably one of my favorite cards out of all the cards we probably have for 3 years. That's just I forgot you had that one graded. Once CSG became CGC, um, I think it was a great move. The people there, we're always thankful for them to grade our stuff, so, it's a beautiful thing. I'd rather spend, money with good people that do the right thing. But I was looking on their site, that they charge $5 to reholder it to the new thing. So that's cool. That's cool. They do it for $5. That's pretty good. I mean, because if you're sending a few over, you're sending it, say you're sending 5 or 6 over there to get graded, you just throw a few in there for $5 each. You get them in the new slab. So I think it's worth it. And that's they do the right thing, man. Put it that way. And the turnaround time is pretty fast too.
I think they're a great company, man. Shout out to CGC, man. That is awesome. The fact that they've worked with Waxateria, and shout out to everybody in the hobby who's like legitimized our stuff. Sabu, shout out to AEW, shout out to Tony Vella, all these dudes in the set. Like, it's really an awesome thing that we really kind of like corralled the community a bit and got involved with that, man. That is awesome. And CGC is a great company, so I'm super psyched. Here's a beautiful card, man. It's a Captain Lou. Speaking of Captain Lou,
another one, another classic 85 tops. Man, look at that image.
I mean, it's so crazy, bro. I saw this interview. Like, you could just go into the Captain Lou rabbit hole, and if you start going like this stuff, bro, the guy's just one of the most entertaining people in the history of the planet. So, what, man, that's so awesome, bro.
I mean, once you said that, that's what I did. I started typing in Albano, and I see this, and then on certain autographs, he types in "Jesus loves you."
Yeah.
So when I saw this on his forehead with this insane image, I said, "Yo," I mean, like, I mean, it's Captain Lou. You know what I mean? He like, my thing is with wrestlers and autographs. Like, I need to get the autograph cards on images that represent them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Baseball is different because it's like, all right, whatever. Like, if you have a player for 15 years, you're gonna have all different images. But wrestling, it's not like that. A lot of the images are kind of the same. Like a profile shot or just kind of like. But when you get those random insane shots, like to get an auto on that, to me that makes it's wrestling because it has to be nuts, right? For it to be like a really good or colorful or nuts or just like a sane image. So I don't know. I just saw that and I was like, this dude is crazy in this picture. I got to get this.
For me, bro, like when it comes to wrestling, I'd be happy with Hogan, Savage, Flair, Captain Lou, Freddie Blassie, Mr. Fuji, and Piper. I think those guys, if I had all those autos on a card.
A lot of those, I mean, most of the cards I have are from my era. There's a few that I'm like, like the RVDs and all that, but that was my next era because, you went from WWF, and then it got weird, whatever. And then you went to WCW and then that was like, oh, I'm back into wrestling now. You got Hollywood Hogan and this, and then I got lost into wrestling. And then, you have, for me, wrestling was like WWE Hogan. It was like WCW, with Hogan now. And then you had ECW. Those are like my 3 times of wrestling. That's all I have. Like, I don't really know those other times of WWE and all that. I like, the Stunning Steve, Stone Cold and all that. Yeah, I remember that, but I wasn't into it like that. ECW, I watched every week.
Let's finish it off with one more each.
All right.
I'll show you this one real quick, and I got to thank you for this one, man. And the action.
Oh, man.
Just to have this is a great card, man. I have a couple of cards in this set graded. I have an Andre and another Savage, and like they're both like 7, one's a 5, but like the pop is so low on those. It's
so low. The whole set, there's probably only like 100 that are even graded in that.
Total, yeah.
Yeah, total. I mean, in the whole set.
There's like 15 of them or something, like really low. So that's an awesome. I love this card, man. This is a cool era of Savage.
It really is. I mean, those cards are just, I mean, just to have the gold and then still have the colors on them is just like, man, Well, this is an oddball one. This is from the 92 WCW. This is what's cool about this is a pack, but this pack came back at 10.
That's crazy.
You know, and I mean, there was never even any. This is the only pack that's ever been graded. But the cool thing about this, not only it's a 10, it has Vader's rookies on the back.
Bro, that's ridiculous, bro.
You know what I mean? It's like one of those things that, like, I don't know. There's no value to this because no one even has any. This was the only pack rated. For it to come back, a cello pack like this to come back a 10.
Did you grade that?
I subbed that, yeah.
Wow.
So what I did is when I opened that box, I put three because that set is not a big set. So it's only like 50, 60 cards. So after you're opening 80% of the box, you're almost like, I have the whole set, right? You pull a bunch of, I pulled like a bunch of stings. So I'm like, there's 3 packs left. I'm just gonna stash them. You know, so I stashed 3 packs. One had Vader on the back, one had I don't know. I still have 2 of them. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just send it in. I didn't think I'd get a 10, but I mean, it's just freaking cool to have. I mean, it's just wild. I actually, PSA has a deal right now, $25 pack rating. So I might send the other 2 in just to have and just sell those or something. But it's just, you know, something like that, man. You know, that's just to find a pack like that. It's just cool.
That's amazing, bro. That is amazing, dude. Yeah, you never see that. You never see it. But anyway, yo, that was a great show, man. And we'll do another one with the wrestling cards. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.